Cravings are probably the biggest enemy any fitness transformation has to face. And what I want to do in this episode is I want to show you exactly how you can identify if a craving is even real, right? If you're even hungry or you're just bored or sad. And most importantly, how to make sure that you never fall for a craving again. And if you do, that craving is actually helping you get closer to your goal, which if you do it right, can happen. So let's get into it. First of all, you need to identify the difference between physiological hunger and psychological hunger. What I mean by this is sometimes you're gonna be hungry and it's just going to be a way for your body to tell you, hey, I'm here, I need some food, give me some fuel because I'm running low, right? That's going to be what your body's going to do for you. And sometimes that is just a hunger issue, right? You just need to eat more volume, you just need to eat more food. And yeah, you can still do that and still lose fat if you do it strategically. That's probably for a different video. But the thing is, in many cases, cravings fall into the psychology craving. And what I mean by psychology craving is you're just used to eat food at that certain time. You're just used to snack while you're watching TV at night. You're used not to wait 2-3 hours before you eat. And that's used behaviors, that's used habits, that's used things that you normally do. And that craving is not really that you're hungry, it's not really that you need it, it's just that you are used to it and you don't want to lose that habit. And your body is just kind of like asking you for those kind of habits. So probably the easiest way to fix this or to know which one it is to ask yourself a simple question. If you ask yourself, am I craving something specific, right? Am I craving chips? Am I craving a donut? Am I craving cookies? Or if you could eat whatever, right? Because if you're hungry, right? If you're really truly hungry and I tell you, hey, here's an apple, you're gonna eat that apple. If I give you, hey, here's the salad, you're gonna devour that salad because you're hungry. But if you're psychologically hungry, if you have a craving that is not physiological, that is not a need, that is something that you want, then you're gonna be like, oh, screw that apple, I want my cookie or I want my chips. So that's the first way to know if that feeling of I need to eat this is actually real or is just a habit that you have formed in yourself. Now, the second thing that you can do to prevent those habits or those cravings from appearing is, on top of obviously being aware of, okay, this is a craving, I don't really need this food, but I really want it, is to change that habit for a different one. And what I mean by this is not, oh, Eric is telling me not to eat, duh, I already know that, I know I shouldn't be snacking. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you create another habit on top of it. So for example, I love to eat while I watch football games, right? That's just what I do. I always have some popcorn, I have some peanuts, some chips, and stuff like that, because that's just the way I like to watch the games, right? But what happens if you create a limitation around it? And what I mean by that is, yeah, you can have the chips, you can have the popcorn, you can have like whatever snack you normally use, as far as you go for a walk first. Now, a couple of things are gonna happen here. First of all, in many cases, you're not gonna go for the walk. So you're not gonna allow yourself to have the snack because you know you didn't earn it. And I know this is kind of like, it's probably not the best mindset about it, but hey, it works, so trust me on this. Second thing is that most of the time, if you actually go for the walk, you're gonna be feeling great after the walk, or who says a walk, who says any other habit, and you're not gonna have the craving anymore because you already did something that can like took your mind off it. Remember, this psychological craving is just that, psychological. You're bored, you're sad, you're stressed, you're used to do that at that time. But if we change the pattern, if we change the routine, then you're no longer gonna have that craving. And worst case scenario, or quote unquote best case scenario, even if you do that new thing that's gonna put you closer to your goal, and then you come and you have that snack and you have that, you fulfill that craving, you're still gonna be better off than if you didn't do it, because you did something that was taking you closer to your goal before that snacking. Well, in other times you would not have done it, right? So basically, I suggest you that you find something that's gonna put you closer to your goal. So I say going for a walk, but it can be doing a set of burpees, or doing some push-ups, or maybe, I don't know, just journaling, or taking a cold shower, whatever it might be that will put you in a better state that you were, because chances are you're feeling better, you're not gonna want that craving. And then the last thing that I suggest to fight cravings, which is probably the most actionable one, it's that you normally don't crave a certain food, you crave a feeling. And what I mean by it is that when we're talking about cravings, you normally are either craving something that's crunchy, whether it might be popcorn or chips or stuff like that, or something that's sweet. If we talk about like the big cravings, it's crunchy stuff and sweet stuff, all right? Cakes, cookies, donuts, whatever it might be. So my recommendation is that you can always go for healthier snacks that give you that feeling that you're looking for, and you will be surprised on how much that craving is solved just by going for the feeling. So for example, if you're someone who craves a lot of crunchy stuff, you're my type of person, right? You do a lot of crackers and breadsticks and chips and stuff like that. You're really looking for that crunchiness going into your mouth. So you can go for stuff that's going to be crunchy, that's going to give you that feeling, but it's not going to fill you up with calories that are going to hold you back on your progress, on the fitness progress. So for example, a really, really great option, and you can find yours, right? There's a lot of different great low calorie options out there, but for me, a really, really great option is going to be carrots. You can chop up carrots, you can have carrot sticks, and that's going to be giving you the crunchiness that you're looking for. It tastes good. Obviously, it does not have the salt, and it does not have all these additives that chips and many of these products are full of that will get you addicted, but it's going to be fresh, it's going to be crunchy, you're going to feel good, and at the end of the day, you're not going to fill yourself with calories that are not going to do anything for you, and on top of that, you're going to fill yourself with vitamins, right? But again, you can look for many other things. Normally in the vegetable side of things, you have things like celery and a couple of things that might fit you better. For me, it's carrots. And then when it comes to the sweetness, there's a couple of things that I would suggest, but the top one that I would suggest is always going to be bell peppers. If you can do the same thing, just chop bell peppers and have them on your fridge. You can easily access them. It's an easy way to snack whenever you're looking for that sweet kind of like flavor while you're watching TV, while you are working in your home office or whatever it might be. The bell peppers are gonna give you that sweetness on top of some crunch that is gonna make your cravings go away. And I know how crazy this sounds. I know that right now you're thinking, Eric, how am I gonna change my piece of cake for some raw bell peppers? Trust me, just give it a go. Let me know how it goes, because you're gonna be amazed on how much they do to fill out those cravings, right? So basically what I want you to get off this is you can control your cravings, okay? Cravings are not hunger, because if you're hungry, you need to eat more, you need to fill your plate more, and that's a whole different ball game that we can talk about in a different time. But you are in control, and it's a behavior based. You don't need it. Okay, think about it. No one has cravings, or no one binge eat at 9 a.m. in the morning. It's something that we do later at the day. Something that we do to quote unquote de-stress. It's something that we do when we're watching TV, when we're watching a game before we go to bed. Why? Because we've lost all our willpower, we've wasted it all through the day, and we don't have the systems to avoid them, right? It's really, really unlikely that you would binge eat on chips at 10 a.m. in the morning. Now 10 p.m., that's a whole different ballgame. So once we understand what cravings are, you have control over those, and it's just a matter of setting up systems to control it. You can either set up the system that we were talking about, just doing something that's gonna put you in a better position first, and if not, you're not gonna allow yourself to do it, and once you do it, you're allowed to do it. So it kind of like gives you a little bit of freedom, and in your mind you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna still have my craving, and you can like self-negotiate with yourself. Or you just go for healthier options that are gonna put you in a better position, that are gonna solve that craving, and sooner than later you're gonna be quote unquote craving those foods instead of the foods that you were craving before. So hopefully that was helpful. If it was, by all means make sure to hit that like button on YouTube if you're watching here, and if you're listening to the podcast, make sure that you share it with someone who might benefit from it. And I'll talk to you guys in the next episode next week.